All right, Faisal, you're up next again, and here's a fun question for you. Where can we find source code examples for full-fledged Mathematica interfaces?
I can interpret this question in two different ways. One is writing Mathematica interfaces. As you've already been seeing, we've been doing using manipulate and similar constructs. We have a website dedicated called Wolfram Demonstrations, which has tons of manipulate examples in a variety of topics. All these manipulates are written by users, contributed through us, published on here. And each of this demonstration comes with the source code, which you can download and interact with your Mathematica. Or even if you don't have Mathematica, you can install a CDF player and still interact it via web browser or that stuff. So here's the source code, for example, that produced this particular interface. And every single manipulate on this demonstrations website come with the source code. That's one way to interpret. The other way is to think of interfaces that come up within Mathematica itself, for example, dialog boxes and toolbars. I'm going to bring up our Documentation Center again and do a search for interface, because Mathematica comes with really heavy documentation on a lot of aspects. It is a very general program, so there are a lot of topics to cover here. Custom interface construction contains introductions to manipulate, control objects, all the different control objects that we support, views, and if I keep scrolling here, there are two sections we don't want to touch: introduction to toolbars and creating dialog boxes. And they come with their own extended example. So if I click on the word processing toolbar here, there's some text to guide me along on the construction of an example word processing toolbar. So I'm going to go ahead and evaluate this code, which is in the Documentation Center, and sort of see what the final result is. So I'm evaluating this in sequence so that everything gets picked up. And finally, we have a window creation here, and I have this mocked up word processing toolbar in my example. So I can start entering text. I'm pretty sure these are functional as well as pretty as they are. And there we go. So those are toolbar examples, and as I showed you already, there's also examples on creating dialog boxes, all the elements that would go into a dialog box creation, palettes, creating palettes, and they have extended examples providing source code for all these different types of dialogues and palettes. Now, a lot of Mathematica dialogues are in fact created in Mathematica themselves. So if you want examples of things that you can do, you can look at something like the welcome screen, for instance. This is a Mathematica notebook written entirely in Mathematica code. So it just gives you an example of the kind of things that you can do in Mathematica itself. The source code, particularly for this example, is not available publicly, but the ideas to construct such a interface is definitely within our tutorial.
No, fantastic. Yeah, there's some great ways, and dig into some of those examples, and hopefully you can do one of those too.